later in this video of madness.
In the shuvwa inside of home, in the shuvwa, which is like, you know, when you say like I'm in the shoe of somebody. So basically, I can hear these sounds as if I'm in the shoe of that pained person. In the shoe of wa and sigh of whom. The wa and sigh of whom, which is like the cries, and sighs of whom, which is like the pained me. That makes sense. So yeah, that's that.
Also later in this video.
In my hand I can see a flute of no misdeed. The seeds of hope alone have grown under the seed. Keep quiet away with no freak out. In my hand I can see the flute of no misdeed. It's like no matter how much I went through, wow, I haven't cried for so long. It's like the pride and peace and this gladness that I've always never made a misdeed a bad thing. The seeds of hope alone have grown under the seat. That's when I was homeless, living in the seat alone, and like there was a tree I always fantasized myself hanging from, self-exiting, and confusion. The seeds of hope alone have grown under the seat, as in like how, just like, oh my man, like sleeping day and night, just thinking about being hopeful, just patience, and just like growing these seeds of hope below me.
Okay, video start.
But this is the most unusual perspective ever. I'm not Yoko if I'm not holding a fan with me. I'm always hot. It's been a hot summer, what could I say? It's heavily raining, which is beautiful. First of all, do you like what I'm wearing? I made everything, literally. This is the necklace I made. I don't know if you have seen my previous videos. It changed shape because it broke. And I was like, are you challenging me, fate? So I had to make it even better looking. Looks like something for space, which I love. It's really cute. And I created this as well, like from scratch myself. Anyhow, yeah, so it looks like that. Very elegant. So I wanted to start by saying that I'm giving this away for free because this was supposed to be my busking sign. So busking is basically sitting outside and making art, like selling my things. And I've already got a better sign because I wanted to upgrade it. I really didn't want to throw this away because it's a good quality, like it's a paper that doesn't tear and doesn't smudge, like you can clean. It's an A3 size, so you can frame it with literally a cheap A3 frame. Anyhow, I want to make it really quick. It has on it all like inspirational words, for example, something like no more whining, more doing, things fix themselves. All you should do is work smarter, harder, take care of yourself, enjoy life when you can by giving yourself a treat and never give the fuck up. There's like slay, there's also my signature on here, stuff like that. Fake it until you make it. Very inspirational, beautiful words. If you want something inspirational, this is Yokoshima here. Because it's a busking sign, so it has like art store, books, payment stuff, love letters. So basically it just tells people what I do. Anyway, so if you want to have it, just comment, I guess, and I will pick a random winner. But it's for free, like literally I want to give it away. So yes, somebody's gonna win this. Now, to the topic of today. Let's see. I wanted to explain the lyrics behind the song Freak Out. And I'll try to do it as much as I can because it's really hard. I am a poet, so when I write something, there's always ambiguity, which means like there's so many meanings in one phrase. Most of the time. I'm gonna tell you the meanings and you can understand what I mean. So let's get into it.
Listen to the song first so you would enjoy this experience better.
A failure. I've never failed anything. Everything I had to risk and fight for made me the god I am today. How much pain you overcome determines how much stronger you must be. This introduction was actually a poem I wrote so long ago when I was struggling during the lockdown with depression.
Me. A failure. I have never failed anything. Everything I had to fight made me the person I am today. How much sadness takes you over determines how much stronger I have to be.
I was talking about how I survived homelessness and everything on my own. You can watch my series of my chest so you can know more about me. There are more episodes coming because I have so much I have overcome by myself. It tells you that me, a failure, I've never failed anything. Everything I had to risk and fight for made me the god I am today. So like every pain I've had to go through made me even stronger and stronger and made me like, gave me the drive that I want to do even more and even better. By the way, I said the word God because I have the Japanese tattoo Kami, which means God. I used to believe in a God. I used to be Muslim. And I've become atheist because there was like a very big happenstance in my life happened that I want to tell you about in my chest next episode to do with my stepfather. But a big happenstance happened. I was very close to God and I have come from a like a very religious figure, like a prophet himself. And it's a really long story, but I'm gonna explain that in another episode. But like, long story short, I've realized there's nobody watching after that incident. I really got mad. I was like, nobody's fucking watching, nobody's taking care of me. I was a child and I had to do something a child shouldn't have done. And that's when I realized I was the god of myself, because I changed things. Although I was a child, I was powerful. I had the power to do something. It's a big thing. I can explain this better in the other episode, but yeah, that's why I call myself Kami, like the god of myself, because I also created my own name. I gave it my own name. I gave myself my own power to run away from home. It's a long story, baby. But you can see why I have become a god of myself. But yeah, that's that. Next. How much you overcome determines how much stronger you must be. This means I actually played with this word. Like, I was able to say, for example, everything I've overcome determines how strong I am. But I wanted to say how stronger you must be, because there was like two meanings of it, of course. The one meaning is how much you overcome determines how much stronger you must be, which is like how much you overcome determines how much stronger you are as a person. And the second meaning is how much you overcome determines how much stronger you must be, as in how much you overcome means like you're really broken inside, determines how much stronger you should be to be able to cope with this pain. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's two different meanings. Next. Responsive, responsible, and logical, illogic. Where I've come from, hear the drum, everybody's freak. So responsive, responsible is like when you have gone through so much, but you still think about the consequences and about like how you're responsible of whatever you would do. It will determine your future. I was wise. Like, I got through homelessness, but I tried my best to clear away from stealing, from like, it's a long story, the things happened, but I did my best to stay smart, to stay a good person. That's what happened. But yeah, that's what I mean by responsive, responsible, as in like I respond to things very smartly. And logical, illogic. This is like life in general. It's like I'm very confused of what's going on since I was born, and especially that when you're alone and confused, you don't know what you're doing with yourself, what's happening, what's going on. You become really confused, almost insane. But yeah, still I stay responsive, responsible. Where I've come from, hear the drum, everybody's freak. This is just like me and my demons inside, the good demons that made me the person I am today, who are the reason I've survived everything. And I've come from within me, hear the drums. It's like how strong they are, like how, not freaky in a bad way, as in like freaky in a not to mess with, not to, I don't know how to explain, to be honest. It's also to do with the name Yokoshima. I think that I introduced Yokoshima in my video where I'm introducing you to my plant Yokoshima. So next, in my garden I can hear the sound of home, the solitude of me too without a clue, and the shiver inside of home. That's deep within me, in my garden, in my beautiful peace, all the pain, there's still like me, a garden. See the sound of home, solitude of me etude. Oh my god, it's so poetic that I don't know even how to explain it now. I feel like people can understand it, but I can try my best to explain it. I can't even explain that. A solitude of me etude. Etude is like an etude, music etude. I can hear the sound of home. So the song, the painful singing of me that is broken, I can hear it in my beautiful garden, like the singing of the birds. I can hear the pain and singing of my pained self, my like hurt and wounded self. The solitude of me etude, without a clue, as in like my lonely kingdom of self. There's like the orchestra of pain, the etude of pain. That's how much I can explain it so far. In the shiver inside of home, so they left me etude without a clue, as in like, yeah, there's lots of confusion happening, but yeah, without a clue, as in like I don't know what's going on, but I'm just like a peaceful person, basically Yokoshima. I don't know how to explain it better than that, but yeah, hopefully it makes sense. In the shiver inside of home, in the shiver, which is like, you know when you say like I'm in the shoe of somebody. So basically, I can hear these sounds as if I'm in the shoe of that pained person. In the shoe of wa and sigh of whom. The wa and sigh of whom, which is like the cries, and sighs of whom, which is like the pained me. That makes sense. So yeah, that's that. And listen for it always rains and storms in here. as in like, listen around you in my garden, it's always raining and storming in here, and me within me, to the sway of the flora, things of bits and see. That's the beauty of nature still. Do you know, like when you feel so happy in nature, you feel this kind of melancholy of life? That's like the feeling I feel. It's like when I'm really lonely and like go in the nature, just enjoying the nature. Even like when I'm alone, this loneliness, I'm a very lonesome person in my life. I've always been alone. So enjoying the sways of flowers and in the wind, although like I enjoy it, just makes me feel a very bitter, sweet kind of loneliness. So that's what I mean by this way of the flora, things, heartbeats and see, like the life of these flora things. I'm floating like I cannot speak out. It's just like this feeling of like, as I said, nature, just like feel this melancholy of bittersweet pain and happiness, peace, and you're just floating like cannot speak out, as in like I don't know how to express myself, which is like how I was growing up. I only express myself in tears because I was not allowed to speak my mind. That's another story. Next. In my hand I can see a flood of known seed. The seeds of hope alone have grown under the seed. Keep quiet so I would not freak out. In my hand I can see the flute of no misdeed. It's like no matter how much I went through, wow, I haven't cried for so long. No matter how much I went through, still I was a very peaceful person. I never did a bad thing. I've never made any crimes or whatever. I've never blamed society. I've never done anything wrong. My whole life, struggling, suffering, when I was homeless and everything. Still, I see the flute of no misdeed. It's like the pride and peace and this gladness that I've always never made a misdeed, a bad thing. The seeds of hope alone have grown under the seed. That's when I was homeless, living in the seat alone. And like there was a tree I always fantasized myself hanging from, self-exiting. And confusion. The seeds of hope alone have grown under the seed, as in like how, just like, oh my man, like sleeping day and night, just thinking about being hopeful, just patience, just like growing these seeds of hope below me. Under the seed, keep quiet so I would not freak out. I really like self-compose myself so I don't lose my mind. Do you know how many times in my life I've literally lost it, but with self-composure I brought myself back to sanity. Although I was alone and never had support group around me. So just this tells you by itself how much of a strong fucking person I have become. To be insane and you bring yourself back to sanity. All because of self-composure. Anyway, rolling the dice every day, today in solemn reality. The sweetest smile, the deepest fear it won't provide. Till the day patience turns away to when the light is out. Gambling with luck, gambling with my luck every day. It's really hard to live, especially like when you don't have money, when you don't have nowhere to go, when you are applying for jobs and nobody's taking you. You're just, at that point, you're just playing with luck. Just every day, just waking up playing with the dice. In solemn reality, that was the life that I was leading. The sweetest smile, the deepest fear it won't provide. So all my life, if you've watched my videos, even when I was homeless, I always smiled. I'm always like that. Just like I always cope, I always smile. I'm always smiling, no matter what happens. So, and the more and harder I smile, the more pain I am hiding within. The more pain I am fighting. That's why I say like the sweetest smile, the deepest fear it won't provide. Doesn't like the deepest fear it doesn't want to share. I don't want to share. Till the day patience turns away to and the light is out. So patience has been my friend all my life, family as well. So till the day patience turns away, as in like I was betrayed all my life, especially like when I went homeless, people just like left me be. Especially like I literally had a self-exiting attempt, and then I went homeless the next day, literally. And I was, anyway, I was just me, my smile and patience. Basically that was my life. Dizzy. So, what I was talking about, come on, recall. Yes, till the day patience turns away till the light is out. So my patience was always with me, but until the day the patience is gone, the light is out, which means as in either I give up and self-exit, or I would lose it. Like if my patience has gone, that's it. I would either have enough or I would just lose it. I lose myself. I lose touch with reality. But yeah, what I mean by patience turns away too, as in like the last thing that I have in my life beside me, patience turns away, betrays me, and the light is out. My footprints stay behind as no one ever been. The way I'm just like walking, it's just like I've never existed anyway, as in like I'm a ghost. So yeah, my footprints stay behind me as no one ever been. I'm sure somebody else relates to this. Hummingbirds couldn't sing if they burst into song. So all my life I've lived in a household where music is a sin. Singing is a sin. So you can imagine if my super dream was to become a singer, do you know how difficult it was for me? And then when I came here, you can watch my other video introducing my channel. When I came here, I had my first and last gig ever on the stage. I could not make it because I had self-doubt. It was very difficult. I ran away from home. I was young. I was on my own in a strange country and I wanted to make my dream happen. I was on the stage. It was too much. But I was brave, man. I was so brave to be on there, and I just realized how brave can one little being be. But yeah, that was like my sin was that I was singing. So hummingbird, I chose the hummingbird because you can search on Google like the qualities and what it represents. But I love hummingbirds because like they're just like the beauty of them, the unusuality of them. All through the night I could not breathe out. All through the night is as in like wasn't through the night, I'm just like dancing and just by myself, just lost, just being confused. I'm just like going around and around, how the way a mosquito just goes around light. A mosquito might fly. I could not breathe out. It was just like so shocking for me. But that's as well another thing. So back then I used to do ballroom dancing, and as a way of an escape I used to literally practice how to waltz along the park in the dark literally, as in like 12 and after midnight. Just like waltzing through the night to like as a way to cope, to forget. You can see one of my episodes of my chest when I'm talking about my identity crisis, where you can understand about my ballroom dancing era. How couldn't have I realized that it does make sense? All along I have been among the stars. Couldn't have I realized that it does make sense. So at that point there was like I had an epiphany moment where I was like, you know what? I am a fucking star already. Of the things like everything I went through, that's one meaning. Two, being already stardust, like we are all dead already. Just a blatant true fact. We're living as well as dead. Like we are the stars already. We are dead. We are everything. For me, like the whole universe, we are everything, and we're already dead. We are already amongst the stars. But that's also another thing. Just like I used to hate myself so much and feel like I'm stupid and I'm not good enough. But like I had the epiphany where like, you know what? I am actually worth a lot. If I influence myself, I can influence everybody. All along I have already been amongst the stars. I'm not worthless, as my mother told me, as my whole life people made me feel. I am so much more than I ever imagined myself. It's hard to believe, but that was my epiphany. You know what? All along I have been amongst the stars. And I also feel like this becoming a superstar is my prophecy, and I'm scared of it, but I really want to do it. I really want to have it. That life wants me and I want it, but I'm afraid of it. But I feel like I can open up slowly, and people who can support me can make me feel like I'm not a crazy person. I know I am not, because a crazy person, just like in philosophy, a crazy person doesn't realize they're crazy. Next. All along I've been among the stars, calling in the night until I'm satisfied. So calling in the night, like I am somebody who's shining. He wants to shine. He's a star, want to shine. Calling in the night until I'm satisfied. As in like I just want to keep, even like in my videos, I was calling for help basically in my videos. I was wanting somebody to like help me or whatever, but like there's no help. You are the only person who helps yourself in the end. But I've been calling and crying for like somebody help. I need somebody to even just stay by my side or wherever. But yeah, I kept to myself this crying, so that's why like I kept myself this until I'm satisfied, till I was waiting for myself to be satisfied, but I never was satisfied. Like I was crying every day, I lied to myself that I was satisfied of my being grateful that I'm still alive, being grateful that I'm still healthy, I can feed myself. I'm starting to feel dizzy again. Don't scroll on my eyelids so I don't have to see. This is like have two meanings. Don't scroll on my eyelids doesn't like, you know what, I just keep myself blinded so I don't have to see anything. I don't have to see my pain. I don't have to see how painful my life is. But that also talks about two other things. One thing is I used to live in a shared house after being homeless, in and out of homelessness as well. I lived in a shared house and I used to be so paranoid. I was such a paranoid person that I used to close the windows. I just felt like everybody's watching. So yeah, that's like scrolling my eyelids and scrolling the curtain, sorry. And there's also like scrolling down as in like, you know, during lockdown you only had to scroll through your phone. So that's it. Scrolling my eyelids so I don't have to see. And there were times a lot that I just like stopped. Like I'm the kind of person who just stops because I'm so sick of seeing people having their friends around, their parents or partners and stuff. Meanwhile, I lived the whole lockdown with myself, and I had weed as well, so that really killed me. My share mates were I'm gonna make another episode of how toxic were my share mates. I was such a big person, like I had charisma, but after living with them I have become such a fucking I'm gonna talk in another episode how they were like. Through glass I shut the world so they would let me be. So that was also, I'm feeling dizzy. People back then in my era, like lockdown, there was like in and out of lockdown. I was struggling, like working as a waiter, the worst fucking life I've ever lived. Even when I was homeless, I was happier. There was like workspace harassment, whatever I've done. I used to love people, but the waitering made me hate them for so many reasons. But yeah, I just wanted people to leave me alone. Like even when I was happy, doing my job, really genuinely being caring for the customers, my teammates wouldn't leave me alone. Even like when I didn't want to drink with them, they used to nag me, they used to bully me because I made them feel bad about themselves because I didn't want to stay around and drink. So yeah, I just hated people. They didn't want to leave me alone. Back then I was so done with people. Kind of still happens nowadays when I go out, people like would harass me. Like I'm just literally minding my business, going for a run, trying to stay positive. People would like come and just like just touch me very inappropriately. That's why I've been also shut out recently, because I just feel like everybody means me harm and I've been happier on my own. Which brings me to the next part. Seclusion's bittersweet, a dark delight of chocolate. As I said, like bittersweet. So seclusion is really good for you, but also can be really bad if you're always by yourself for so long. It's good for you because you learn a lot about yourself and you become very strong mentally. Like me, I became just very emotionally strong because I've been alone for so long. And makes you smarter, and makes you creative, and makes you... I am very grateful for solitude. People come to me for advice because solitude makes you think a lot about the universe and life and about things, how this, like why people are like that. Makes you like think because you have nothing but, especially if you're a very smart person who doesn't want to think negatively, everything you think about is just positively, something about curiosity, about the universe, about philosophy, reading a lot as well. But also it's bitter because obviously there's always the thoughts running. It's like, you know, the negative thoughts are always there. Just like life is just, as I say, is like a piano. There's always white and black keys in it, and it's up to you how you want to make your own symphony sound like. Yeah, so that's that. Next. Panic and rumble and thunder in the shape of heart is tucked in. So that's how I have panic. I have such a big manic panic attack syndrome, and I have like anxiety, like big, very great anxiety, severe anxiety disorder, many disorders, PTSD and stuff. But my point is, I'm trying to say is, I'm always panicky and rumble and thunder in the shape of heart is tucked in. But like still everything is just for me. I'm still sweet and I'm still myself and I'm still genuine and I'm still like being myself. Just like I love life and I'm happy about ice cream and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm very like sweethearted basically. Yeah, so everything is just like, everything that I am is just hidden in a sweetheart. Like that's just how I am. It's like a sweetheart, but inside that sweetheart there's everything but a sweetheart, in a not a negative way. And as in like, you know when people just like say, oh, somebody with tattoo looks scary, but inside they're just like flower and butterflies and sunshine and rainbows. That's me. Now it's raining again, cleansing my worries. Hi. Storage was full, so I had to delete again. Dubious and thoughts losing everything I've carried out. So once I get dubious in thoughts, like when I'm thinking a lot to become dubious and negative thoughts, I lose everything I carried out. All the pride, like all the strength that I had, all of the good values and good merits, and like everything positive about me, it just goes away. As soon as I'm dubious, like literally, it's like also something I still struggle with. Like when I go outside, I have two people in me, because like the good thoughts and dubious thoughts. Once the dubious thoughts come, I can see it on my face. Like my whole aura and charisma and pride, everything disappears. I become a whole different person who is very afraid and fragile and just wants to run away, who can't even look people in the eyes. I have two people in me, and it's very, very hard. Like every second they would change. Like for example, minding my own business in supermarket just today, and just like stand up and somebody would look at me. Sometimes I'm just like very haughty and like, what the fuck are you looking at? But other times I'm just like feel unwashed. Stuff like that. But yeah, I'm getting better at it, which is great. Yes, nobody can defeat me, not even my dubious thoughts. All who's once a group two, there's never harmony. Banish the belonging equation, a question, there's no doubt. This is about family. I don't feel like I belong. I don't trust my own family. We live in two different worlds. They believe in the God I don't. They don't, because I'm a gay man, an atheist. It's just, there's so much trouble. They make me feel like I'm a crazy person. Anyway, so even when I was homeless, nobody, even my family, like actually when I was homeless during that time, they traveled. They went to Dubai, just like to show you what kind of family I have. So yeah, to whom there's never harmony, that means because they also, like my whole life, we suffered. Like I'm gonna make another episode about it. Well, we suffered our whole life. There was like no harmony at home, no whatsoever. But I still call them family, I guess. But yeah, that's why I didn't say my family or loved ones or whatever. I just said like to whom there's never harmony, because they're also suffering like me their whole life. So yeah, that's that. Banish the belonging equation, a question there's no doubt. As in like they banish the belonging equation, like they don't see me as I belong to them whatsoever. A question there's no doubt, as in like they see me as a question mark. There's no doubt. I know about it. They see me as a stranger. I see them as a stranger as well. I've never, like my whole life, my mother was a stranger to me, and my father especially. That's another story of my chest I'm gonna make about. Open the door and welcome Her Highness and Majesty, but there's no cause the wheel of fortune to spin out of sight. This is like one of the things I say about the world. It's like open the door and welcome nature, because for me nature was always there for me. It's the reason I've been alive and I keep living. And just saying like open the door and welcome Her Highness and Majesty, but there's no cause the wheel of fortune to spin out of sight. So like there's so much snow, cold. This world has been so cold that the wheel of fortune spin out of sight. Like the good luck, there's no good fortune anymore. Like you have to strive for it, and that's what I've done all my life. Yeah, I think that's what I meant. Like in the ending, that's what I realized, that the world is so cold. The wheel of fortune is gone, it's out of sight. You have to make your own fortune in the end. And in the end I just say, come now, hello, hey, I'm still here. Come now, hello, hey, I forgot. So just like, hey, hello, I'm still here. Like I still exist. Come now, hello, hey, I forgot. As in like, hey, like I forgot how to live. Like, I forgot how to be happy anymore. Come now, hello, hey, I can hear. If I'm freak, you freak me out. So that means because like back then when I wrote this song, I was going through so much, right? So I can hear, like I'm within a hearing distance. I can hear what you're saying about me. If I'm a freak, you freaked me out. That's it. That's what Freak Out the song is about. That the world freaked me out. I've gone through so much that I was already freaked out and paranoid, and people make me freak out more. It's like I'm not a freak, but they freaked me out. So like basically it's an Uno reverse card. That's about it. So yeah, go listen to the song if you haven't listened to it, and hopefully you will listen to the end of this video because it means a lot to me. I'm like standing in a very awkward position. You can see like my abs are struggling. Storage was crying again. I just want to say bye. See you in my next video. Stay good, stay cool.